We have learned a Suffolk native was caught in the chaos. DeAndre Harris was one of many counter demonstrators. We want to warn you, some of these images are hard to watch. He says he was at the rally just minutes when he was beaten unconscious inside a parking garage. The entire violent encounter was caught on camera. Harris is turning to GoFundMe to help with his medical bills. He has raised more than $100,000.
The investigation in Charlottesville still is in the very early stages. Steve Foster, a former FBI agent, joins us now to offer some perspective into the DOJ's civil rights investigation. Steve, thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon, David.
So what does a civil rights investigation look for?
Well, David, these are complicated investigations because you need to prove intent. For example, I read in the paper that James Fields, when he was a young boy, advocated some allegiance to neo-Nazi groups and made racial slurs. But you have to take it beyond that. Sure. What is he feeling today? What was his motives and his intent today? Not what it was 20 years ago. That certainly can be used to build a case, but you need to know what his intent was today.
So how does that investigation move forward?
Well, it's going to move forward very much like we've been reading about and seeing on television. The local authorities are working with the FBI, who has a primary jurisdiction. I read in a news release that the FBI in Richmond has come out with DOJ in the Western District of a U.S. Attorney's Office and opened a civil rights investigation. And so I know they're moving forward and doing lots of things, and there'll be lots of leads going out to Ohio or wherever they need to find the evidence.
Nothing happens today without there being video of it. So we have all this video from the weekend. How might the investigation use that video?
Well, those horrific videos can help the prosecutors prove premeditated intent on the part of the suspect. And there needs to be a lot of other investigation, but it goes a long way to show that he purposefully plowed into that crowd to cause harm and possibly kill people and then backed away. So that goes a long way to show premeditated intent.
Is it possible that others could be charged as a result of what investigators see in that video?
I believe so. Of course, there's a lot of backup investigation that's going to have to take place, but was there anyone working with this fellow, the suspect, James Field? That's what we have to know. Did he do it by himself or did he have help?
Somebody who may not have been in Charlottesville even.
That's exactly. It could be back in his hometown in Ohio.
Right. Today, Attorney General Sessions mentioned domestic terrorism. How does that fit into a civil rights investigation?
Well, they're separate investigations. They're parallel investigations. One is for a hate crime, and the other is a racketeering investigation. So, for example, domestic terrorism, we have the old Aryan nations going back to the 1980s and 90s who were based out of Idaho, and they're still around. We've put a lot of them in jail, but, you know, they come and they go. They come and they go. So where does this fit? Is there a larger group that this young man was involved with? Is he involved in Aryan nations, skinheads, neo-Nazis? Are they working out of Ohio? Are they working out of Idaho? Exactly what is going on? Is there something more behind the scenes? And absolutely, the FBI will be out there digging up all the evidence that they can to build this domestic terrorism case and use the old RICO racketeering violation where we can build a case around them with many more violations.
Fascinating. Steve, thanks for your time. Appreciate your insight.
Well, thank you.
All right.